What's up, everyone? We're going to be going through the best college football picks on Prizepicks today. Now, I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 22 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now, a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We actually got 2 picks wrong, got 22 right, which is a 97% win rate. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 97% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 97% win rate and get 22 picks right like me, win more bets, and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure you join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $570 just yesterday, and another member who won $325 for the 4th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, a link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Rich Elias 1 who said, "Shout me out, big dog, you the GOAT." So shouts out to him, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick, and when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to talk about is none other than Mason Heinschel, and this one is none other than actually total rushing yards for 39.5, and this one actually is for less. Now, when we look at Mason, we've actually seen him go on the under in actually 2 out of the last 3 games. Now, when we actually look at Mason's games, we did see on September 7 actually faced off against CMU, actually had 0 rushing yards there. Then October 5 actually faced off against none other. I actually also had 28 rushing yards, and that was none other than actually against Boston College. Then moving on from that, we actually saw him get 64 rush yards on October 12th against actually Florida State. So, it is pretty interesting to see that when it comes to Mason, we have seen him more go on the under than he has gone on the over, and that's definitely a good sign for us on why we do like the under for this one. Now, when we look at his average over the last 3 games, it is also 30.67, so significantly below this line there. Now, when we look at their matchup, we do know that Pittsburgh do actually face off against none other than actually Syracuse. It is definitely going to be a great game for sure, and I think it is going to be an exciting one between both of these teams. Now, a big reason why we do like this is due to the analysis of actually Syracuse. They do a great job at actually, defending the rushing yards, especially to the QB, and we definitely see that playing a huge factor there. Now, when it comes to Mason as well, in general, we have seen him tend to go on, the under compared to the over when it comes to rushing yards. He tends not to rush too much, and we definitely see that playing a huge factor coming into this game. But I think the fact that Syracuse are great defensively at, restricting rush yards, we definitely see that being a big thing on why we do like the under. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this situation here. When we look at someone like Mason as well, we also have seen that, him most of the time has gone on the under, definitely plays a huge part for that. But when you look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well. So Mason Heinschel for 39.5 rush yards for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Kevin Riley. So, Kevin Riley, as we all know, great player. Now, there's another rush yards. However, this one's for a running back. Kevin Riley, this one is for 25.5, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Kevin Riley, we have seen some pretty interesting, matchups from him. Now, when we look at actually his last 5 games, you've seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5. Now, we actually did see him play very well, in some of those matchups. We saw on September 7, actually faced off against ULM, had 69 rush yards there, which was interesting to see. Then faced off against Wisconsin Badgers on September 14th, actually had 20 rush yards in that matchup. Moving on from that, we saw on September 28th, had 30 rush yards, and that was against a pretty, decent team, which was UGA or Georgia Bulldogs. Moving on from that, we saw on October 5th also had 17 rush yards, so definitely struggled a little bit in that matchup, and that was against Vanderbilt. And then 16 rush yards against none other than actually, obviously, Missouri on October 12th. So we have seen him go on the under quite consistently. And looking at this, we do know when it comes to this matchup, it is definitely going to be an interesting one because Alabama does face off against Tennessee. It is definitely going to be an exciting matchup, but when we actually look at the prop and why we do like the under for it, we definitely see that first, obviously, Kevin Riley has definitely gone on the under quite consistently. He's gone on the under more than he's gone on the over, and his average over the last 5 is also 30.4. Now, looking more in depth, we also do see that Tennessee's defense have been absolutely very, very good. You know, when it comes to Tennessee, their defense has been respectable, allowing an average of 3.29 yards per carry on the season. So, very, very good. You know, they're really, really good at defending that, and we definitely are expecting them to do a fantastic job at actually restricting the rush yards, and they have done it against other great teams. Now, coming into this, you know, obviously with Kevin also being a little bit less when it comes to his, you know, rush yards lately, we definitely see someone like him going on the under there. So, for that reason, this one is just another no-brainer pick for us. We do very, very much like the under. So, Kevin Riley, 25.5 rush yards for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about Trey Smack. So, Trey Smack, as we all know, great player. This one is for 7.5 kicking points, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Trey Smack, we actually have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see on September 7th, you know, actually had 10 kicking points in that matchup, which is interesting to see, and that was none other than actually against USF. Then moving South Florida Bulls to be more specific, and then moving on from that, they faced off against LSU on September 14th, had 4 kicking points in that matchup, then 1 kicking point against Miami on September 21. Then October 5 faced off actually against Texas, and then had 9 kicking points there, and then also had 5 kicking points on October 12th against Texas A&M. So definitely been interesting for Trey Smack. We definitely have seen him go on the under quite consistently, and when it comes to actually this next matchup, it is definitely going to be an interesting one because we do know that Florida face off against Mississippi State Bulldogs. So it is definitely going to be an exciting game for sure, but looking at why we do like the under for this situation here, when we look at Trey Smack as of lately, we haven't really seen him be hitting it very consistently throughout the whole season. Now, his season average is 6.17 kicking points per game, so it hasn't really been the best. And on top of that, we also do know when it comes to Mississippi's defense, you know, they do a great job at actually restricting kicking points in general. They're holding to opponents to an average of 19.8 points per game and possessing a decent red zone scoring percentage of 82.35%. So they've actually done a pretty decent job, and I think when it comes to this, we are expecting them to continue to do a great job coming into this next matchup. So for that reason, I do very, very much like the, you know, under for this situation here. And as we mentioned in the past, when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well. So that works out in our favor there. So Trey Smack, 7.5 kicking points for less, I think is a fantastic pick.